Hey guys, this is Gloria. So a lot of you guys had questions on how I created this thank you card made from AliExpress alphabet dies. You don't necessarily have to have the AliExpress alphabet dies. They're just pretty large, and that's the reason why I use those. I do have other alphabet sets as well, but they're just a little bit smaller, and the sequin that I had wasn't that small. So you guys asked for a tutorial, so I'm going to try to attempt a tutorial and kind of a walkthrough on how I created this card. Won't be this same exact card because I just want to keep it a little bit more shorter. So I'm going to do a shorter version of this particular card. So the first things that you're going to need is you're going to need a stamp. This particular time I'm going to use this one, just a creative type of girl. You're going to need some ink. You're going to need some foam tape. I picked up this foam tape from AliExpress, and it is super sticky and it works really well. You're also going to need some double-sided tape. I picked this up from Joann. Some scissors or a trimmer. You're going to need some foam, and I try to get foam that's the same color as the project that I'm working on. You're going to need some sequin. I have little sequin mixes inside of this little pouch here, as well as some in here. And you're also going to need some you know, pretty tulle or a ribbon or whatever you may want to tie around there. And then I also have these alphabet dies that I picked up. And you're going to need some pretty paper in order to complete your project. So the first thing that we're going to do, or the first thing that I did, was I actually cut out a scallop square from AliExpress die that I have. And this is smaller than an A2 size card, which is fine because this is you know, what I wanted to use on the front of my card. I stamped with VersaFine ink on the front in the black, Onyx black ink. And I also used my dies, and I went on and cut out the windows for my letters. Then I also glued the acetate on the back. You can use transparencies, which is what I use, or you can buy the actual acetate, either way. So the next thing that we have to do, because this this particular letter has this little R piece right here, and that piece is still stuck inside my die. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to use my precision bottle, my glue bottle, and I'm just putting a little bit of glue on the back of that part of the R so that I can just situate my die back into the opening where it fit, and then I can just use my finger and press that down, and then hopefully, let's see, hopefully when I take it up, my little piece should be sitting where it needs to sit. So that is my other little piece of the R. So I needed that piece, and now I can just pop out my the rest of my paper, and I can set this to the side and use it on a different project. So the next thing that I need to do is I need to cut my pieces for my foam. And as you can see, the only thing that you need to do is make sure that your foam piece is a little bit bigger, wider, and taller than your letter, because you want some stability around your letter. That's all you really need to do. So I will be right back. I'm just going to go ahead and cut my two letters out, and I'll be right back to show you how I glue them together. Alright guys, so I am back, and I have both my letters cut out in the foam. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to release the actual letter, and you can set that to the side and you can use it on a different project, or you can actually put glue on this one and use it as a stamp, you know, whatever you choose to do. So this is the part that I actually need, the negative part of the letter, and I'm just going to clean it up and make sure that there are no stray pieces, because I ran it through my machine, you know, back and forth, and sometimes when you do that, it shifts the die and it may cut and leave like little slithers, and you don't want any of those to be trapped inside of your shaker card. And so again, I'm going to release my little R from this one, and I want to keep this, and I also want to keep the inside of my R. So I'm going to just lay that to the side, and the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue these pieces onto the back of where my acetate is, and I want to make sure that I have it lined up properly. So I'm just going to line it up first, and then I'm going to take some of my glossy accents. I pretty much use glossy accents all the time because for me it dries really quickly. Right now I need to poke a hole in there. Give me 1 second, guys. but it dries pretty quick, and it's a very strong glue, and I love that it's in this precision bottle. So I'm just going to run bead of glossy accents right around where my letters are, and this is just going to hold my foam on. So I'm going to put my little U on, and I'm going to make sure that it's lined up properly, and you have a little bit of wiggle room because it is the glossy accents. And the glossy accent, I mean, it doesn't dry right away, but it does dry pretty quick for me. And I'm just going to put that on where my R is, and I'm just trying to make sure that it's nice and lined up, and that is the way that it's looking. So always turn it around to the front to make sure that it's lined up properly, and I just kind of set it down and press it down a bit to make sure that it is good and on there. And so you want to make sure that your excess foam is not sticking over at all. Usually I do a better job with cutting my foam, but I was kind of using scraps, using what I had, and so this was like leftover scraps from another card that I made, because you don't really need, you know, you don't want that part sticking out, and you don't need that part either. You just need where the letters are. And then right behind that R, you need to make sure that you pop this piece out, and you also glue that piece to the back of the acetate. If you don't want, you know, if you want your sequin that should just stay within the letter. So I'm just going to line that up with where my paper is, and I'm going to let that sit for a minute. And that's about all for that. So now all you have to do is just fill your little cavity with sequin. Now I've noticed that it works much better when you use like these little beads like this, because they're much smaller and you can get them to fit and shake around a bit better than you can sequin, but you can definitely use sequin as well. So I'm just going to put some of these down inside of there and make sure that they all get inside. And then I'm also going to use some gold, because gold just shows up really well. So I have some gold in this one, so I'm just going to use a few of these gold hearts that's over here, because they're smaller. And I think I got these little gold hearts from Michael's. You just want to make sure that you get them all in there, and you don't want any sequin to rest on your foam, because you want, once you put your backing paper on, you want to make sure that that is a nice tight seal, because otherwise your not rhinestones, but your sequin will go everywhere. So so you just fill it up as much as you want, as much as you need it to be. And let's see, I'm gonna put a little bit more here. I'll use this one. I'll put a little bit more pink on this side, because we have the letters. I try to fill up each side. They will shake around in there, but you know, you want to make sure that you have some on each side. So anyway, the next thing you're going to do is just going to take a backer piece, and I'm just taking this little rectangle piece here, and I'm just going to put glue all the way around where my foam is. And what this is going to do is it's going to trap all of the sequin or the shaker bits inside of my little shaker window. So I'm just going to put glue all on that, and then just lay that on top. And I just want to make sure that it is covering really good. And just kind of press it down just a little bit to let it take hold. And then as you can see, that's the way it looks on the front. Really, really cute so far. So then the next thing that you're going to do to finish up your card, because that's pretty much the shaker component of this. The other thing that you're going to do is, because now you have foam underneath where your letters are, you're just going to take some more foam and you're going to put it, you know, underneath where your other foam is, just to kind of make sure it levels out, I guess. And I'm not doing a very good job with putting this foam on straight, but as long as I don't see the foam on the other side, then I'm fine with that. So you do that, and then you also want to put some double-sided adhesive on the back of your little backing to make sure that that part sticks as well. So you're just going to take off the release paper from that. And you need nails to do this, but I'm just taking off the release paper from all of this, the foam part as well. And at this stage, if you want to wrap your card with your material, then this is a great time to do that. And so I'm going to take this tool that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to put that around the, you know, the bottom part where I want this to go. And then I'm going to lay that on the back of my little backer sheet. And I hope that I'm in frame. Let's see. Just trying to get that as straight as possible. So then that is it for that. So all you're going to do is you're just going to tie this in a bow. I always, for some reason, I always turn it upside down to when I'm tying bows. I'm just going to tie that in a bow. And, you know, you can fuss with your bow as much as you want to. And, you know, of course, you don't even have to have a bow if you don't want one. But I love bows, so I'm going to put one there. And then I'm just going to cut off the excess. And I think that is looking so pretty. And so then what I have is a A2 size card base that I created, and I'm just going to put that right on top of there. So I'm just going to use some more. Oh, I already got double-sided tape on the back of there. Great. So all I'm going to do is just take off this release paper. Super simple, guys. Super simple. I like simple crafts. And I'm just going to try to line that up as best I can. And I am actually standing up doing this, so I'm trying my best to get it lined up as best I can. And then I'm just going to fold the card base down, and then I'm going to fiddle with this bow one more time to make sure that it's kind of even on both sides. You can put a gem or a pearl right there in the middle. But that is about it. That is my little card, guys. And so that is how you make the little alphabet shaker card. Super, super simple. And you can make it say anything that you want. This one says, "You are just a creative type of girl," which is really cute to be able to send off to crafty friends. So that is about it, guys. As always, if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And I'll get back with you as soon as I possibly can. Take care, guys. Bye.